what can you do to accelerate your acting career? Like, is there a series of levers you can pull or push or move sideways to move your career forward faster as an actor using production? There's, in my opinion, a wrong and a right way to do it, or there is a incomplete way to do it and a complete way to do it. I talk to people, it's like, hey, I have a production company. Okay, well, cool. What's your production company do? Well, we're developing a few scripts, we have a feature, whatever. We're maybe in production on a short. All right, cool, nice. How much have you made? How's it going? Like, what's sort of the cash flow situation? Oh, I mean, we haven't made any money. Okay, cool. Where have your films gone? Well, we're currently looking for distribution. Okay, well, how much money did you raise for your productions? Oh, well, it's self-funded, and we're kind of just doing it with whatever we can right now. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just an incredibly painful way to do it. And the reality of it is that most short films don't make much. Actually, there are very few circumstances under which I've made money with short films, but I can tell you that none of them are covered under what I normally hear actors or even producers say that they do with short films. Then you have sort of the other type of production company, which is really built to be a business, and there's a little bit of a different approach there in content production. So that having been said, and then we'll get into the second part a little bit more soon, but you need to have a strategy, just like with everything. So just creating a short film because you want to get some friends together, you want to make a movie, like, yeah, I mean, is it never going to work? Is it never going to, like, I can't tell you that. I mean, I would be lying. It's just, could you deliver a baby without formal training? I'm sure. I mean, men have done it. Women have done it. It's a natural thing, Could you self-publish a book and it goes crazy? Could you, self-record a song on iTunes or a GarageBand and become a one-hit wonder? Sure, I'm sure it'll happen. Is that what you want to rely on? So there can be a bit of a system. So you start by asking yourself, what's your goal? What do you really want to achieve as an actor? And let's say you want to be a leading man in action films. Then you would maybe produce some short films and stuff that are and put yourself in them, in a relevant way. But let's say you work a day job, right? So that's 40 hours out of your week gone, right? Okay, but you need the money to fund your short films, okay? So you saved up a bunch of money. Maybe you made a little video. Maybe you started a Kickstarter. And let's say it took you 6 months to a year to raise funds to put into a short film, and it turns, you finally get all the money together. You've been building your team, pulling favors, begging, borrow, stealing, especially when there's no money. If you can't raise the money, oh boy, is that a painful process. People flake on you. Nobody wants to do you favors. You end up having to, you end up filming with some friend of yours who, just recently got out of film school, and not a great film school at that. Ideally, if you want to accelerate your career, you need to keep adding content onto your reel and keep doing things and staying active in the community and going to festivals and going to, all kinds of things and having your stuff out there online and on social media. Also, just here, I added this to my reel. Check out this little short. Check out this. We won a Laurel, best actor, best screenplay. Create a little bit of a thing around you. Now, it doesn't mean you need to make a short film every week, but what about if it's like once every month or two? That's better than once every 6 months or every year. And maybe over time, once you've done 4, 5, 6 short films, you feel ready and confident to actually do a very low-budget feature film, and you can put yourself in it as a lead. Well, but how do you pull that off? Well, you can't pull off a micro-budget feature film if you don't know what you're doing, right? And you don't have a team and a crew that you trust to pull something ambitious off. You can't pull off good short films without a crew and experience either, but you can kind of screw up a short film and then learn from that and do a better job on the next one. Whereas a feature, it's just a big project to waste money and time and effort on when you don't know what you're doing. So you got to start with smaller projects and build your way up. But if you're working 40 hours a week at a job that has nothing to do with the industry, and you're not building your network and stuff in the meantime, then that's a lot of time that you could be spending. Again, this is all about accelerating. This is a lot of time that you could be spending working in the field somehow, learning how to produce, becoming better as an actor, becoming more on brand, on point, writing more scripts to develop further content and stuff, all for the benefit of pushing you forward. So what is the systematic, step-by-step process to creating an ecosystem around you that slingshots you forward in the quickest way possible? Well, you would want to start being in the industry, ideally as a producer, full-time. You'd want to make your money there. You'd want to live in that space. And whether you're producing videos or short films or demo reels like for actors or whatever, other kinds of videos, corporate content, it doesn't quite matter. You're in the space of production. That's step one. And how do you do that? Well, you need to transition into producing. But how do you monetize producing? You can't make money with short films, and you can't make money with features because you haven't done it yet. And it's going to take you a couple of films before you can actually even really make money with that or get an investor. They're too unpredictable. You may or may not get a script financed. You're not sure how much you'll get for it, and you certainly don't have a clue as to how much you're going to make on the back end. And if you'll be able to maintain sort of enough of a flow of another movie and another movie to maintain a logical, to maintain a system that actually keeps you fed. So that's not a reliable path either. So how do you make money with productions? Well, you do it as a service. So you do what Dream Reach Media does, for instance, or you create ad campaigns or commercials or landing page videos or dance videos or reels for car sales or whatever it is. Corporate content, videos for your churches. Like, there's a million things that you can do for an institution, a person, or a business. Charities, whatever. Everybody now needs video. Everybody needs some sort of a film made. It's just the way we communicate. So the demand for video is really high. It converts. It's better. You can tell great stories. You're not a sellout for doing a commercial. Commercials can be very creative. Videos for businesses can be very creative. They can even be narrative. I've done narrative story form branded content for companies. After the millennial job interview went viral, I got hit up by countless institutions and businesses to do similar videos for their business, for their internal workings. So you have a tremendous amount of opportunity to be very creative and help a business or an institution or a person achieve a certain goal, to offer what you do as a service. Now, this allows you to create a predictable system that you can package and price and calculate, okay, well, I know how much every demo reel earns for the company gross, and I know what the net is, meaning I know what the profits are, and I can calculate, okay, well, I need X amount, say a reel is $100, and I know that I'm going to make, $30 on that profit, then I know that I need 10 reels to make $300, right? So that's the idea. So now it's a matter of creating a system and a customer base and a little bit of movement. Now, you might say, well, Daniel, that's just going to be my full-time job then. How does that help me as an actor? I say this a lot. There's always going to be a poop sandwich that you're going to have to take a bite out of. If you want to take the bite, the 40-hour-a-week work, the job that you have, and eat that poop sandwich, or do you want to eat the little temporary poop sandwich that'll get you into producing full-time? Because here's what you do next. Once you've created the proof of concept, you delegate things. I haven't been on the set of a reel as a director or a producer for a while, and my company does a tremendous amount of content, but I have a team that manages it, so I can jump in and I can be involved but I trust them very much, and they handle the work for me. So now I am a business owner. I have multiple companies, and they all do different things. So I'm working with big brands on a commercial campaign. I'm developing a feature film. I have my service production with the reels. I have other productions that I'm doing as well for businesses and such. So the only way I can manage all these productions is to be in my position where I'm not required, but I can go in and be involved if I need. You can create a system like that for you. And it seems impossible, but it's not that hard. You just need a strategy to get there, because that's just the intermediary step. Now, what this step allows you to do is to reinvest, is to create content. You're producing, so you're learning. You're taking money from a client, and then you're producing with that money. So you always have a budget to produce. You're hiring a team. You're paying them. You're paying a cinematographer, an editor and stuff. If you don't like the way the cinematographer worked on one video, you don't need to hire them for the next one. But you're producing enough work, you're producing enough content for you to iterate your team and build it and grow it and try new people. Eventually you'll end up, and it doesn't take that many videos, you'll end up with a good team. You've done 3 or 4 or 5 videos, you'll have a good editor, a good cinematographer, a good director maybe even, and maybe a good writer, whatever. But if you want to write your own stuff, now here comes the third step, where it circles back to accelerating your acting career. Now you work in production. Now you make money in production. Now you know you have a proof of concept that you can scale up to 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures if you really want to push, whatever. You can scale a production company pretty high, especially if you involve marketing with it, which we also teach in the Drace's program very extensively. So now you have a system where you say, okay, well, I'm making $8,000 a month. Well, I want to make 12, let's say. Because I want to take $4,000 a month and I want to put it away, because at the end of the 6-month period, I want to produce a $20,000, $24,000 whatever film, feature film. Or I want to produce a short film for $4,000 every month, or a short film for $8,000 every 2 months to put myself in as an actor. Now, if you had $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 to produce a short film every month or two, as opposed to what you're doing now. On top of it, you have the budget now, you have the team that you trust, and you have the knowledge of how to pull a project like this together because of all the experience that you've built up doing service work for others, learning and making your mistakes on other people's projects with other people's money. You'll still do a good job with that. We mentor you through that, but you don't want it to be your own cash that you're burning on a bad DP or a bad sound guy. So that's how you do it. It's sort of a 3-step process. You know where you want to go as an actor. You get really clear on that. We help you brand yourself and figure that direction out. Then you build a company and you create what's called a golden goose, a thing, a shtick, a niche, a service that you offer. For me, it's short form content for actors, right? That's one thing I do. I do others, but like you wouldn't need. You don't have the overhead that I have, and you don't need it. You just need enough to transition from your job over into producing, build a team, and then step 3 is take that team and the cash flow and reinvest it into creative projects, products, short films, movies, things where the risk is up front and the payout is undetermined. But now you don't care if your short film doesn't get into a festival, and you don't care if your feature film doesn't sell. I mean, you care, but it's not going to be a huge tear my hair out bummer. You'll just say, okay, what did we learn from this one? And in 6 months when we make our next one, what am I going to do better? And you do that for a couple of years, and your whole system is going to grow into a certain direction that's going to be very, very beneficial to you. All the while, you're delegating tasks that you don't want to do anymore, so you're freeing up your time. So you can spend 20 or so % managing your business and 80% focusing on creative work, auditioning, acting, going to festivals, networking, doing all the things that you do as an actor. Training. You never give that up. But in addition to that, you're feeding your real content. You're feeding your acting self, your being, your business, your actor business content, and opportunities by showing up to film festivals with your own content as a producer, actor, as a lead, as a short film producer, as a feature film producer, actor, writer, whatever it is. You've now created an ecosystem for yourself that is completely encapsulated in itself and not relying on anybody else. And all the while you're auditioning for studio and network gigs. And on top of that, at the end of it, what we go over with you, or what you should do, is, because this is not a commercial for races, this is just a system that you should do. And if you can do this on your own, then all the more power to you. Just do it. If you need help doing it, then book a call with me and we'll talk about, maybe getting you enrolled in our program, or at least discussing, a strategy for you. We give strategy calls out for free. So, no obligation to actually enroll after that. But let's talk about what you might be able to do given your circumstances, where you live, your knowledge, and all that stuff. So what you want to do then at the end of that, once this is all built, you also want to start cultivating your own audience. And at some point, you have your own audience. Now, this can take years, right? Building an audience can take years, and it's not for everybody. But if you did add that to everything that we just described, you have the potential to become completely self-sufficient and independent in every possible way. Financially, creatively, you don't even really need distributors anymore at that point, depending on what it is that you want to do. And again, all the while, auditioning for TV, auditioning for studios, getting an agent, doing the thing that you're doing already now. Do you think that's not all going to help you push yourself forward with some more consistency, some more predictability, and above all, not having that plan B linger in the back of your mind saying, when do I give up? When's this going to work? What am I wasting my time for? Am I going to be a bartender forever? Am I going to work in this office forever? No, because, if you're not acting, what's the next best thing you could do? Producing, right? If you're not producing feature films or shorts, what's the next best you can do there? Producing other kind of fun content. Social media has made ads very creative, and it doesn't have to be ads. I've created stuff for my temple, documentary short films, for charities. I've done all kinds of cool stuff. Narrative, scripted, unscripted, documentary, commercial, corporate. But the key is, when you're your own boss and you work with your own clients, you bring your style to it. And you choose who you want to work with. And you only produce the kind of content that makes you happy. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. And if you need help figuring out how to do this, call us. Talk to us. Call me. Let's schedule a chat, 30-minute, 45-minute strategy call. You can do it on dreamreachmedia.com and book a call. Let's talk about it. If that's truly, the direction you want to go in. So, or you can do it on your own. It took me 15 years to figure this out. So if you want to save some time, maybe my program would be a good fit for you. If you want to learn it on your own, I'm sure I'm going to be sharing more tips on the YouTube channel. It's not ever going to be quite as in-depth as the course, of course, but or the program, because there's a mentorship element and a community and exclusive. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Comment below if something isn't clear, if you'd like me to make a new video about something specific. That's it. Thank you, guys. Take care.